Ouais, gente,
Zoom, zoom, zoom for a teleportation circle, you mean? But yeah. To where the tower was, I think, right?
Ruby? What's his name?
No, 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 no. Because I also don't like it.
Course. I have no idea. I don't know what you're talking about. Nope, no idea. Mm,
Innocent.
Perhaps sealing an
Innocent.
entity back into, state. Backward.
Like hot cross
Any
buns.
questions? Sirs, do you have a comment?
Clip it, clip it, clip it.
You're
Muted.
Dude.
Muted.
I mean, that's pretty on brand for Castia. Castia is
Silence. This is
a
a very
young
silent woman.
a young human woman, probably has her cloak hood down, so long brown hair. Um, Probably just looking around very curiously, like she's trying to find the source of something, but dressed pretty practically and very lightly equipped.
Um, Redheaded, elf, high elf. She's dressed, in fighting garb and, probably just kind of like staring around at like this building that they just entered into that definitely wasn't there before, but was suddenly there. That's it. That's all I got. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's got, I think, great, great, great great grandchildren. I mean that too, but you know, that's just the blood of our enemies. That's no secret.
That's
Oh,
always
no.
the best.
Uh,
Yes.
I saw a movie like that once.
Hey.
Stay alive. I'm Ravik. He's a Mizumi or rat folk shinobi. He wears very colorful garb. And he is armed to the teeth, literally. There's knives sticking out of every pocket. He's got a big giant bag on his back full of supplies. And I guess that's about it.
It's okay. I can describe this gorgeous redheaded lady. It's like
I love her.
yeah, she's gorgeous. You see, she's more focused on Castilla really than she is, this weird thing we're in. Um, she's got an eye patch and just beautiful arms, and she's carrying an axe and a sword. Um, so yeah, looks like your typical privateer.
Why you gotta say it like that?
Nope. It was before I was there. Yeah.
I take out my sword.
Yeah. Fighting stance.
And roll for initiative.
Welcome to the party.
Yeah, you just let them level up before this? What? Had a fighting chance. Okay then. uh
I throw a knife at him.
No!
Dead.
so
Hell yeah.
perfect. Yeah. So Sanat is obviously an Eladrin, currently in the season of winter. So white hair and you know, kind of I guess demeanor is more like contemplative and like not as like I don't know. I don't know how to describe that, I guess, but
Frosty.
yeah, I guess. Uh definitely more of like a different seasons have different, attributes to personality. So and then yeah, that's I mean I don't really have much else going on. In the age wise of elves, not super old, but not much older than humans, but not old when it comes to being an elf. So
Wait, you want to post a picture?
he's working on it.
Ta-da!
Oh no.
This whole
I
intro.
ain't repeating
Gotta
myself.
start over again. Let's go. I didn't have my sound on.
That's okay. I should have been checking levels. I'm an idiot. I know that you folks have been fine, right? Say something.
Hello?
Yeah, I can.
It's been going. So I've just been muted this whole time. Wonderful. 30 minutes of nothing. I am back in
We
form.
did our intros,
I
if y'all
mean,
haven't
it's
noticed.
26, but we heard it.
Fair. That's right. We did start a little late. So I'm going to go ahead and just very quickly run through it. They're in the tower. They entered the tower last session. A big weird thing appeared. Stairs appeared. And it's also an Eladrin, who you heard the descriptions of everybody. So at least there's that. But yeah. Did we do the dagger throw for flavor?
Yes.
Okay, so kunai, simple kind of throwing dagger. It's not you very quickly just dismiss it with a minor shield, not even a full one. Yeah.
Who goes there? Identify yourself.
I guess I would just like introduce myself. I don't know. Like, I don't really. It's been a while since I've had to do any of this. My brain is not able to click back into it. Yeah. No.
So the Eladrin kind of nervously looks at you.
I mean, I'm also in winter, which means I'm not really talkative or.
That
really-
works. So you just kind of look at the person who attacked you, kind of like taken aback by that, and everyone's kind of like in a defensive posture.
And I just like put my hands up, like not. Well, that would probably be bad as a wizard too. I'm not casting anything, I promise.
So like,
Fucking
Raise his hand.
He raises his hand and fucking Revit
Looks
raises
at
his
the-
hand,
oh.
like fucking do
Wait.
it.
Raise his hand now. Roll for initiative.
You didn't know this was a combat encounter you walked into.
it always is.
John, is the giant cube like still there? Is it shrinking and disappearing?
It is not shrinking or disappearing. It is very much still present.
Okay. Castia would be fine, probably oblivious to whatever danger this may or may not be, and be approaching this mysterious thing that showed up, since there was that mysterious tug that drew her into the tower, and I'm assuming once inside there's not anything else that's explicitly pulling her in any direction, so this is as good a lead as any.
So you feel a strong compulsion to touch it. Blathild, you can see more than likely. I don't want to force you into this, Tom, but your hand, Cassia's hand, probably going up in that direction. So, do you have a response to that, Blathild?
Yeah. I try to snatch her hand. I've already moved up here in the first place, kind of like shit. And kind of run up here beside her and put myself in between her and the new person that we are throwing knives at. And then when she starts to touch it, kind of like any other mom, like, stop that. I kind of just grab her hand, like, don't touch this. Like, we don't know what it is
So,
or what it'll do.
for you, Castia, like, you're kind of, there's a curiosity there, but the pressure that's kind of put upon you by Blathild is kind of forceful. Don't do that. Do you still wish to kind of go around that, or do you wish to take the warning?
That would probably break Castia out of whatever kind of outside herself daze is going on and look over towards Bathild, which would then show our new visitor. And she'd probably call it, "Oh, is this... Do you live here?"
I do not.
Orlandis,
Why are you here?
Orlandis chimes in, kind of breaking the reverie for a second, and says, "Door's locked. Isn't working."
This is the door. She'll point and probably come dangerously close to touching it again.
Which
Yeah.
I will
Don't try to
also
touch
grab her
that.
hand again.
Slap.
So
Look, don't touch.
Orlandis will kind of gesture towards the door he's near, doesn't seem to be working. The door that you entered in through initially, and that you tried to leave at the end of last session.
Well, he tried to leave.
Right. You as a group.
I took no part in this.
Pretty sure me and Lose know what the color combination is supposed to be.
Don't worry about it. We're moving on. So,
I'm like, I used this to get in here. I don't think that we can use it to get back out.
That thing, pointing at the cube.
It was much smaller to begin with.
It was much smaller. It was much smaller. That doesn't
I'm
answer
very
any
familiar with that
questions at
method.
all. I mean, at least it's big enough to get through. Now you're telling me it was smaller.
so
Leaves me more questions.
to give you an idea of like the scope of it, it is about 5 feet off of the ground, hovering. It is about as tall as it appears to be wide, so about 30 feet. And the faces are now these horrific kind of goblin-like structures that have kind of these strange-looking fanged maws that are open, but the structure that it's made out of, the gold, you presume, it doesn't like leave an actual like orifice. It's just kind of like an indentation where the mouth would be.
A bas relief.
It's a bar on the facades of this cube.
If you don't live here, do you know who does? I mean, they gave you a key, right?
That was my key.
Yeah, but who gave it to you?
This place has been empty every time I've come here before, so I thought you lived here.
So your studies have told you that this Magier's Tower was originally created during the formation of the conglomerate, the beginning of the Fourth Era, by an individual named Tovesh Nernon. And I'll type that in the chat. You've done your studies on Tovesh Nernon. Tovesh Nernon was an elf, was a name of an elf that is historically important, but the individual who was named this or took this name during the early portions of the conglomerate could not have been the same person. So it is kind of just a very strange name to take on, one that's historically in context. And when I explain it, you'll understand that taking this name would be like someone in modernity taking the name like Hitler or something crazy, right? Tovesh Nernon was an elf who decided to go against the divine order, and in his efforts cursed his own bloodline, and Varhwind, the father of elves, solidified that curse of blood, which continued throughout the eras and was quite potent and was used to bind the sword of ultimate sorcery away from the hands of mortals. And out of character, all wizards know what the sword of ultimate sorcery is. If you get a hold of it, everything that is magic is at your behest. You can do anything, everything. There is no limit to your powers if you have that blade. The person who took their name, Tovesh Nernon, based on the notes you've kind of gleaned, is just kind of an edgy mage during the first 100 years of the Fourth Era, who was very kind of conglomerate-centric. But not much besides this tower's creation was left in the histories about him.
Well, if nobody lives here, maybe we can live here because we can't go back to the farm because of that whole mess. But who did you say who gave it to you? Because I feel like I know this. This seems familiar. I just kind of want to.
I don't remember if you said where I came across, like where I obtained the cube.
Penford. The city of Penford.
Was it one of the things I found in the library, or was
Yeah,
it
library and archives. Yep.
Okay. It was in Penford, and I don't know. I've been trying to find ways to correct a mistake involving some very powerful magic, and this is the only lead I really had.
We were gonna go to Penford. Can this take us
think you made
back
it
to
easy.
Penford? I mean, I fixed that tree. Maybe I can make this do the.
Do the thing.
Really rather you not be experimenting with touching strange, glowing, huge objects.
It can't be any worse than that dragon. And I got us in here.
Yeah, now we can't get out.
Sarth would kind of chime in and say, she did fix the tree. And then Cassia and Sarth kind of look at Blathel. Come on, please.
Mom.
No.
I know it wasn't here when we came in here, but I feel like this is why I had to come in here.
The thing that you would notice too, and probably something that avoids most of the others' perceptions, Sanat, is you've been in the tower a couple of times in your studies. The tower is much taller than you recall it being. So much so that it kind of continues upwards, and it looks like there might be something that has been put in place between you and the ceiling, which was kind of a straight shot before. Almost like there's some sort of... the stairs go up to some sort of landing, or some sort of floor above you.
Well, this is new. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would know. Would I know whether or not they could, like, we could use this cube to leave, or?
So you can try and study it if you're wanting to kind of stay down here and kind of explore that. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
I was like, or I can just go upstairs, but I was like, I don't
There's
know, like,
there's an option for that as well, but if you want to stay down here and study the cube, you're welcome to. And as the Eladrin kind of maneuvers about the cube, studying it now in more detail than they had in its finer form, what are you folks doing? I'll let you know that Astrogoth is kind of leaning against the wall near the door and seems to be kind of just chidely saying things towards Sanat with his arms crossed. But he's strangely being very helpful for you, Sanat. So I was going to say in that Arcana roll, even though I don't think that Astrogoth has Arcana trained, he is being very helpful.
He's very worldly.
He is that. And handsome. Yeah, he does not have Arcana trained, but he is helpful.
Beautiful, really.
And then Orlandis is going to kind of stay with the door. Not sure if something could come through or not. He's going to maintain vigil there. And he says to Lose, if you do continue inwards, I'll remain here, just to make sure our rear guard is defended. We don't know if... We know this door works as a door. It just doesn't seem to be working as one right now. So, who knows?
Alright, you stay put.
Oh, if you're not a threat, I'm gonna go upstairs then.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's not the right way. It's around the other way. That's the top of the stairs.
No.
Oh. I can climb walls. Shut up. Do whatever I want to do.
I'm a rat. I can climb.
So
Scale it up the side.
that's a fun point. Do you attempt to try and climb the edges of the structure, or not? Okay. So what you'll notice is as you try to sink your claws into it to get that climbing purchase, it's like the very pores of the stone push you out, and you cannot get purchase. A quick note, no climbing speed can be used on the exterior walls or the stairs of this structure. Spider climb, no. No magical climbing, no physical climbing of any kind can be used on the walls of the structure's interior.
I'm going down on all fours and I'm skittering up the stairs.
Okay. And Lose, you're falling behind?
Yeah.
Cassia, I presume that your decision will pause there for me, Foxen. But real quick, Cassia, I'm pretty sure your choice will determine what Blathild and Sarth are going to be doing. So, what would you like to do? Stay down here and see what the mage has to say?
I'm gonna stay down here, and I'm gonna say I maybe this will help me remember something, and then I'm gonna touch it.
Okay. I am going to, because I'm more than fair, Dungeon Master. I would like for Blathild to make an insight check.
More than fair. Oh, so generous.
Dexterity check.
And
1 second. Insight.
Tom, what is your base deception bonus?
I'm being totally truthful. My base deception bonus is just 3.
Okay. So, you lunge for it. Blathild is a mom of several children. She sees it coming. But to determine whether or not she can catch you in time, she's going to make a reflex check, or a dexterity saving throw to see if she can catch you. More than fair.
Wait, I need to roll dexterity? I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
wasn't
dexterity
thinking-
saving throw. Yep.
Okay, dexterity.
Okay, so she snatches your hand right out of the air and kind of does one of those. She basically mom walks you or perp walks you away from the cube, and
Put you in timeout in the corner.
like just kind of takes you over towards Astrogoth, just very kind of tie
After got to her.
So, As that's happening, and as you're moving over to that space, you see Bravik kind of dart up the steps, and Lose, you kind of start walking up, sword in hand. Bravik, once you get onto the landing, there's a loud sound that appears to like resonate throughout the space, and the sun symbol you just stepped onto kind of glows for just a second, and then stops glowing. Once that happens, Bravik, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh.
Sorry.
Better you than me.
Okay. And do you have
Hi.
do you have evasion?
No.
You don't have evasion? I thought Shinobi got it. Hold on.
Let's see. Nimble. Escape artist.
No? Huh?
I have advantage on saving throws that resist effects that would incapacitate, restrain, or reduce your speed.
Interesting. Yeah, so I guess you're just going to take half. So it's going to be a total of 32 points of damage. 17 of that is fire, and the other 15 is radiant. For those who are familiar, which would be mainly Sanat and Castia, the second the sound rings, you kind of look over in that direction. You see Bravik kind of jump back away from the stairs, kind of pushing off on all fours away from it, but still getting singed as this massive column of flame and sunlight darts from above, seemingly just from the shadows above, slamming into that space, causing Bravik to kind of like tumble down the steps a bit. And I'm certain that Lose kind of rushes up to kind of like help catch him, but he's back on his 4 feet, or his paws, before you kind of get behind him.
So when that happened, I kind of would spin around and do the whole mom throw an arm out in front of Castia, and then also look at her after I realized that he's okay and be like, "This is why you don't touch things."
You said 30, right?
32.
32.
Yeah, and that's after having.
Oh, he really is trying to kill us.
Like I
Okay.
said, 26. 26 don't save you. I don't know what will.
10 episodes my ass.
1 episode.
1 episode. Let's go.
Well, needless to say, I'm gonna sit here and try to examine the fucking rune that just tried to blow me.
That's why he gave all of you that much experience earlier.
I made sure he didn't die in the first 2 minutes.
Just tossing it out like. So when you look at the symbol, Bravik, and kind of start examining it, you'll see that the edge line of the sun symbol kind of carved into the floor appears to have very small divine runes kind of traced into it. It appears that this symbol now seems to be filled, those like carved lines are filled with ash. What they were filled with before this happened, you can't be certain. And when you kind of like, Whiskers kind of twitching, kind of looking at it, and you're kind of sniffing like the magic of it, kind of reach forward with your kunai and kind of tap, 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 tap. You realize that this trap has the ward that created the flame strike has done the thing that it's supposed to do. And again, because just to make sure on the map,
Just to make sure, I'm gonna grab like a block of cheese and throw it onto the.
yeah, nothing happens. But just to be sure, like just because we can see on the map that there are more sun symbols on the next kind of platforms, I want you to be certain you cannot see those from your position, because the walk up to that spot is like a good 50 feet elevation. You're literally walking a massive kind of flight of stairs up to that point.
Well,
I need
not
you to put
skipping
out the.
anymore.
Well, we
I
can
need you
still
to put out
check
one
the
of your
platforms
whiskers.
Yeah.
whenever we
One-
get there.
Yeah, one at a time though.
Sorry.
It's okay.
She
So-
calls up, your whisker's on fire.
Yeah, I just wanted him to put out a whisker. That's all it was.
Okay, so Sanat, at that point, as they're kind of testing the stairs and kind of moving up through the next flight of stairs, this is where you kind of come to a revelation. So this appears to be filled with kind of glowing divine energy. This is what, to you, in study, is known as an astral battery. It wasn't before, because you would have known that was the case, but apparently seated in this space, it has become an astral battery. What that means is it is a conduit and also a storage cell for the divine energy of the astral sea. And it seems to be overfilled to the brim, so that it's causing those weird swirls to kind of fly off of it. You have this strange sensation that the reason why the girl who's weirdly kind of similar to it is wanting to touch it is the same reason why, like, magnets kind of attract. There seems to be something about her that, if touching it, might cause some of the power to either move from it to her, or some of the power from her to it.
I would tell her. I don't advise touching that.
Thank you. Let's figure out
That
what it is.
that would be a bad. Could possibly be bad. Could be good. Could be bad. But not worth the risk.
So, Lose, as you come to that last step, and Rabbit kind of trailing behind, still kind of patting out
Kind of
like small little bits of flame, you see that there's a sun symbol. However, instead of igniting, because you don't step on it, you're kind of like just looking at it. Instead of igniting or anything crazy, it glows before you even touch it. So you're kind of like, oh, okay. And when it does so, sorry, 1 second here. Why didn't you do the thing? Not you, me.
Talking about divine batteries. That's probably why.
Didn't use triple double A. You gotta use Duracell.
Keeps going and going.
Floating and exploding.
It did not pop in the right space. Let's see how it works. Come on, roll 20.
Oh. Hey, let's fucking go, boy.
So a thing appears before you. At first, it's just
Oh.
kind of a glowing red and then yellow field of force. Then sprouts massive glowing wings. And once it's kind of taken the shape that you expect it'll end in, it becomes more physically visible. It's a woman or a feminine form in very ornate looking armor that is very much of an angelic make. The wings blossom out to be full, bright white, like angelic wings, and in its hand it is holding a sword that is wreathed in flame. Her hair that cascades out the back of her helmet is red and seems to flow from an unseen wind, as the feathers of her wings also ruffle in this divine wind. She looks down at you and doesn't really seem to say anything, but then holds the sword up, and you would know that this is a posture that means she is guarding this space.
So we can't go upstairs.
She says words, but you don't understand them. And it actually kind of causes your ears to hurt.
Oh.
Where's Astrogoth when you need him?
Yeah, I know.
Get your
Sylvan again?
No, doesn't he have that spell? It's in no language.
John, by any like,
I have that
is
spell.
it something that I can hear all the way down here, or is it quiet enough that?
So you hear words spoken, and it's kind of like hearing a conversation from a distance that you can understand words about, but you can't understand the sentence, right? Because it's at a distance. So there's some words that kind of come across the air that are easily heard, but its base, from what you can gather of the structure that you're able to pick up from at this distance, is it was a warning that if you wish to go further, you will something bad. Large words for not good, and it seems to be speaking a language that only you speak.
She'll call up to Lose and Rabbit. I think she doesn't want you to go up there.
Yeah, I could kind of tell.
Thanks for the input.
she's got a sword.
It's cool.
She's got a nice mean face on.
As Castia kind of yells out in that direction, something very different than what you were expecting to happen, and the responses may be the same because it's kind of a subtle difference, but something Castia and Sanat and Ashragoth would notice. Your voice booms, like almost as if you were speaking through a thaumaturgic spell. And the wisp lines on the battery kind of move in your direction, almost kind of resonating out towards you, as if they were trying to reach you, but not able to kind of strand themselves far enough towards you. The angel
Spooky Tom.
turns her attention towards the sound that was emanated, raises the sword, or take the sword off to the side, and has a genuine look of terror on her face. She steps up onto the banister, jumps off, and swoops straight over the top of the battery towards Castia.
Oh, can I book it down the stairs?
Well, her flight speed is very, very fast.
Oh, that's fine, but we're still gonna book it.
So she is descending quite a bit. She's probably about 30 feet above you folks.
This is my chance.
But real
There she goes.
quick, you're not going to be able to get that far, is what I'm
Oh.
saying.
Like this far?
Maybe 30. We'll just go with 30, but not for Bravik yet. What I am going to say is she jumps, she swoops. Lose kind of quickly turns and rushes down the steps. Bravik's like, what? And for Blathild, Castia, and Sanat, this red-headed, fiery angel with a blazing sword seems to be flying straight, like Falcon Dive style, towards Castia. And with that, I'm going to change the music to combat music, and we're going to go ahead and roll initiative.
Let's fucking go.
Let's say absolutely not.
Well,
Okay.
at least I bought a gun this time.
All right, initiative tracker. It's been a while, folks.
With Jonah not here, I'm gonna use. I'll be using my advantage on initiative ability on myself, just
Okay.
for simplicity's sake.
A quick note on that. You should have control of Sarth, correct?
I once upon a time did, and it looks like I do now. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Nat 20.
So I'm going to bring up Orlandis' aura.
Okay, another nat 20.
Yeah, I'm taking completely by surprise. What's happening? Did you just turn
Eh?
haul ass downstairs? I'm like, what just happened? Like,
Where's
He's like, "Hold on."
Orlandis?
Got eaten.
Where is he? He disappeared.
You might be under
Right
someone.
here.
he was
Oh wait,
there.
is he
He's
under
gone.
Darth? No.
No.
He was,
He
he was like either here.
Oh no,
or
another
here.
mystery.
There he is. You put him upstairs, didn't you?
No, I think I accidentally deleted his token when I was trying to change his radius.
You did kill him.
Yeah. Wouldn't be the
It's a
first
Jonah.
time.
Got Thanos snapped out of existence.
Okay. So real quick, for those of you who aren't familiar with Warlord, that would be Joseph and Kat. Won't be a problem for you on this one, Joseph, but just understanding the mechanic is important. So he has an ability called Commanding Presence, which I'm going to post. He currently is emitting a 30-foot aura of Commanding Presence. Everyone in that space adds his proficiency bonus, so 3, to their initiative rolls. Additionally, once initiative is rolled, any creature in that aura can willingly switch their initiative to his initiative, but
Question.
right after his. Go ahead.
Is he level 9 now?
Huh?
Is he level 9?
I'm not leveling his character for him.
Okay, I was gonna say because my proficiency is 4 now.
Yeah, I'm not leveling his character for him. So if you, before you were going to roll initiative, and again, you did not know this, Cat, so I'm going to give you some leeway, because your character would have some kind of back and forth with this individual. And it looks like you rolled where you would be if you chose his anyway, so that works perfect. But before you roll initiative, when I say roll initiative, if you are close to Orlandis, you want to stop and go, well, maybe I should wait for, maybe I should decide to do this or not. And if you decide to go with Orlandis and team up in the Commanding Presence, you don't roll initiative, you just go right after his.
Okay.
And then he also has some reactions that he will be doing off the bat as a warlord, because combat is his specialty. However, this is not a situation where he'll be able to do it because he is surprised. I will say that Blathild, Castia, Astragoth, and Sanat, and then also the two on the stairs, are not surprised. So Sarth and Orlandis, who were not paying attention and were at a different angle, didn't see the red-headed angel coming down. So they will be surprised for this initiative. So Orlandis goes first, and Orlandis does nothing. Okay, Blathild, you're up. It's about 30 feet in the air, and a few feet off from you. It's descending past the battery straight towards Castia.
Sorry, guys. I gotta look at my stuff real quick.
How do
obviously-
barbarian?
Yeah, how do?
How
I don't
do, how
play.
do.
I don't play melee. Just,
I throw a fireball. Wait.
yeah. Shit. 'Cause it doesn't look like anything is going to hit it from afar. But I want to make sure.
So you could ready an action to attack it if it comes into an adjacent space to you, which if it does go for Castia, it will. I wouldn't suggest raging this early on because it doesn't look like it's attacking you yet. Yeah, range weapon wise, I mean, you could throw the woodcutter's axe, but again, it would be hard to recover at this stage of it. So readying would probably be your best bet tactically.
Yeah, that
Okay.
sounds good. I didn't know if I had like any buffs or anything that I might need
No.
to do or anything. So.
Okay, so readied an action to attack Sanat.
Would it be?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it looks like you have a higher dex than Castia. So I also have a 21. I don't know why the
Oh.
order is that way. I think I had Sarth selected when I
Oh.
rolled my initiative. But
I see, yeah, it's currently got Sarth on there.
Yeah.
That's really strange. Okay. So Sarth goes after you, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sanat,
I was
you're up.
like, do I wait? Do I go?
You go.
Do I stay? Or do I go?
Sanat has like a 16 or something dex, right?
That's an excellent question.
It looks like a +2 mod, which is
I have a 14.
fine.
It's better than yours, Castia? Okay, cool. So Sanat, you're first.
I'm like, shit, what do I use in a small enclosure? Because this shit's all big. It's been a while.
Fireball.
No, I don't use fire magic. What are you talking about?
Ice wall. Or ice ball.
Not that one either. I'm gonna lightning bolt. Ugh,
Okay.
why not? Where the fuck did it go? Oh my gosh, why is my sheet not? Oh, there it is.
Do
swear
as I
this was high.
command.
What the fuck?
Alright. So dexterity saving throw DC 19. Okay.
I also get. I have
Bonus to damage, I'm aware.
Yeah.
It'll be plus your intelligence modifier, so go ahead and it's going to be 36 then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you watch as it's kind of coursing down, flame sword forward. The lightning bolt strikes and hits the blade, kind of breaking the lightning bolt in two. Looks like some of it kind of scours across her wings, but the other bolt kind of darts down towards the battery. And you watch as the battery consumes that amount of lightning, and it just breaks it apart into its magical, like once it gets within about 5 feet of it, it breaks the lightning apart into just particles of magic. But a bit of it kind of raises across her wings. So she looks like she saved, is what I'm trying to say.
Rad though.
Lovely.
And then Sarth will no and rush forward and kind of jump next to his mom, raising up his axe. But he goes after Castia, so Castia, go ahead.
So,
Run out from under.
I'm going to take the dodge action, but along with that, in a voice that, much like when we were at the tree and Castia spoke in a much more full and confident voice, like she wasn't speaking herself, she'll call out, "Stop," and then take a dodge action.
Okay. It does not appear to kind of change its facial, like it looks like it's panicked and raged, and it's very much as the lightning blasted across it, you're yelling "stop" doesn't seem to change its like connotation. And then Sarth rushes over, stands next to Mom, no, and kind of gets into defensive posture. Lose, you are up. Running down the stairs, no additional movement costs.
Okay. So I can dash down the stairs.
Yep.
Believe I can get there.
Perfect.
That's it.
Ravic.
Oh, right. Well, bonus action, go back into scared, then dash.
Whoosh.
So, where's my damage measuring tool? 50. 80. Oop.
So you kind of rush, jump onto the railing, and kind of run across it, kind of like beside Lose, and then hop down in front of her, kind of landing and looking towards it, just as it's about to. Its initiative of 14 didn't get thrown onto the.
Didn't select your token.
No, I did. I see what I did though, and I'm not going to talk about it. So
In private mode.
I'm gonna go, no, private mode wouldn't change it, or it would put it on there. What I did was I didn't click initiative. I clicked dexterity,
Hey, dexterity saving throw.
which are the
I mean,
same.
you know, yeah,
But yeah, so
different.
she'll follow through. Because there's stuff in the way, she's going to move to break the formation. She descends down, kind of slamming into position, Blathild. There's a couple of triggers here, occurrences that'll be happening. You and your son will both be attacking, but before that happens is her just end of movement effect. Everything within 10 feet of her, which would be Sanat, Blathild, Castia, Astrogoth, and Sarth, need to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh
Sorry,
wait,
is that
Astrogoth didn't
including
get a
me?
turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Doot Machine.
Oh yeah, he's not on the.
He's not an initiative.
Oh.
Who,
yeah, he's
Astrogoth?
not- Yeah. Is he going with Orlando or not Orlando?
I'm gonna have him going with Orlandis, but again, he wasn't surprised. I just totally forgot. I'm gonna have him go with Orlandis at the same time, but he succeeded on his dex saving throw, and then Sarth is making a saving throw also.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I have this danger sense thing.
Yep.
Does that automatically already have the
So
bonus?
when you roll it, dexterity saving throws, it'll give you advantage. And what we do
Okay.
is we roll 2 dice, and if you have advantage, you take the higher of the 2. If you have disadvantage, you take the lower of the 2. If you have neither, you take the first of the 2.
Okay.
So that'll be an 11, not a 5, because you
Okay.
have danger sense. Still not successful. So there's no problem for failure. So Astrogoth takes no damage. Everyone else is going to take 14 points of fire damage, as when it hits in its movement, it erupts in flame.
I was gonna use Indomitable, but okay.
Yeah, if you want to, go ahead.
It's like, let me.
Sorry,
let me just try this.
another. You want to throw another thing on the stack? Great. I love reactions.
Counter spell.
So that's still going to be not enough. So yeah, 14 fire damage.
Everybody takes 14 fire damage. So
Yeah, except for Astrogoth, who
He's got to protect that cape.
saved. One, it lands. It is going to use its sweep attack. This will be one attack. If it hits, it'll splash into the other, similar to Green Flame Blade.
Do they get their reaction attacks first, though?
Yes, go with the attacks. Thank you. So, Blathild, you'll make one attack with either weapon, your choice. And then Sarth will make an attack with his one weapon. He misses. Let me check here. 19 will hit the Battle Angel. So go ahead and click the word Battle Axe +2 one-handed in the chat log there, and it should drop the damage. Cool. All right. And
All right,
just
this
to
is only like my second time being in Roll20. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So just to make sure, I'm just double checking my metric because we got to make sure. The dice was a D8, so you rolled a 1, +4 for your strength modifier, +3 for the slasher, which should actually be a +4 now that you're 9th level. We'll fix that in a bit, and then a +2 for the magical bonus. Okay, perfect. Math is good. Okay, so you slam your battle axe into her. Sarth swings with his great axe wide and misses, and then it performs its sweep attack. You have a 20 armor class, but you are the primary target for the sweep. And 13 will miss. So it kind of rushes, like hits the ground with the burst, lifts the sword up and swings it two-handed straight towards you and kind of towards your son. You kind of bring the machete and let it dance across it. Fire and radiance kind of sparking the stride. You've been in hotter situations before, so not a problem for you. All right. Moving it into Orlandis and Astrogoth territory. Orlandis will point at Blathild and say, "Again, strike!" Go ahead and make a single attack. Oh, you don't have a reaction. You just spent it. Tough. It sucks being a warlord when everyone's spending their reactions. I don't know how to play this character. I just built the class, you guys.
This is your playtest. You get to say, "Hey, this doesn't work. I'm going to change it later."
No.
This is annoying.
It does normally work. He is going to Knight's move with his movement. Castia seems to be the target, so Castia, you can move your speed. And he will stay still. Okay? And then he will use his action to throw his shoot his firebolt gun at it. Bang. He is going to miss with that. Shoots the firebolt, kind of bounces off of her wings. She kind of looks at him confused. As her
I'm made
sword,
of fire.
well, she's not. Her sword is. But yeah. And then Ashergoth is going to, no thanks, move over to here, spin about and doot. As the prophecy foretold. So there will be a doot here and a doot there. He will hit with one doot. He will miss with the second. And
Okay, guys, she has AC of 18.
-2. All right, you can't be sure of that. We've only rolled 19s to hit her.
Your 17 missed, a 19 hits. I'm pretty sure
So it's either an 18 or a 19. But yeah, those two have gone. It'll go to Blathild. You are in melee range of her. You can do as you like. If you want to go with full attacks, no rage. If you want to rage and get it started, you can.
Okay.
Also,
it's trying to kill your kids.
hold on, real quick. You took the full 14 damage on your turn.
Yeah, I was just reading that. Sorry, I probably should have put that in the
Let's
delayed
backtrack.
damage pool.
Yeah, so go ahead and take 3 damage, and you have a delayed damage pool of 11.
Yeah, and so like reduce that to 0 because I take all of that, and then the rest of it would be 3, or.
So you'll take the 3, and during this turn you haven't taken the 11. At the end of this turn, you'll take the 11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, basically the point of it is you'll take the damage later, so you get a turn before you die.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Alrighty. Then yes, I.
Someone
would
stabs
like
you. You
to
can murder them
rage.
first.
I guess. Do I link that in chat?
Right.
Cool. Raging. And I would like to. So since I hit with the battle axe the first time, I'm gonna swing with the
Okay.
long sword first.
Yep.
Yeah. Long sword?
Okay. So she kind of spins the fire blade and kind of knocks your weapon astride. You have a second attack because you have extra attack. You can make either a longsword or a battle axe attack.
So I'd like to swing, like, since you missed that one, then I'm gonna come around with my other hand
Okay.
and hit the battle axe. I guess that's the right one.
That'll work.
And then click that.
All right. So as you kind of like knock her weapon away with the longsword, the machete, you kind of bring the woodcutter's axe choking up on it and just bringing the head of it into her chest, causing her to back up a bit from the weight of the blow, and your kind of face changes from like concern to like grinning as you kind of back her away, holding the two weapons out, like just flexing and being very angry. Sanat, you see the situation unfolding as it is. It looks like this red-headed woman is going to fight this other red-headed woman.
What's with these redheads being all angry?
It's okay. Another
Like, I'd like that in the
redhead
summer
left
too.
join.
Why is everybody yelling? Stop yelling and laughing so loud. It's so loud. Why are you so loud, Foxy? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yes, I'd say y'all are all the same like volume to me. Y'all are.
Did you bump Foxen's
I
volume up?
don't. How do I do that in Zoom?
I don't know.
I think
Can I-
you.
you may have found out how.
Yeah, but I don't
Somehow.
know. But, like y'all are all the same volume.
That's
I
so
think.
weird.
Yeah.
He's coming in extremely loud, like it, like literally just dampens everyone out. I don't know if it's happening on the stream, if anyone's watching, but it's crazy. Okay, sorry, Sanat, you are up. And yeah, as I said, 2 redheaded women beating the crap out of each other.
Okay.
And it's a take your son to work day situation, I guess.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna find my buttons here. Give me one moment.
Sure.
I swear these spells are not where I left them.
It's a very
Put
like
the
wow
spell
thing
here.
to say. Like what? Where did I put that?
Jesus
My UI
Christ.
reset. Hold on.
Okay, found it. Great. Here we go. I said that. There we go. We're gonna use this. I think. Potentially. Yeah.
Okay. So, are you going to try and, or you're going to use your evocation to block?
It's evocation, so I'm just not gonna. It's gonna bubble. They're not gonna get hit by it, but
I would say that for the best results here, because at the current angle, you're still going to be hitting Astrogoth and Orlandis back there. If you do want to,
I can
how many can you do?
craft it 5 or 1 plus the spell level, so 6 people.
Oh, okay, cool. So then you kind of like create the cone of cold in your hand, kind of trace in it as you push forward. It shoots in such a way that it funnels directly in a line through the angel. And she will attempt a con save, which is not her best. Okay.
Which is not her best.
There's
Seen better.
does it automatically put the empowered evocation like thing into this?
No, there's no bonus here, so it's +5 more. I've already added it in.
Okay.
Hold on, let me go ahead and see if I can't fix that very quickly, actually. So we don't have to worry about it moving forward. I don't want to have another Twilight site individual problem.
Quick, turn out all the lights in the tower and we'll see if it works.
No. Spell.
Oh.
Spell. Global.
You doing that changed my screen too.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold up.
What are all these words?
I was like, I'm about to do something else.
I guess you only cast spells, right? And you typically don't cast spells. Okay, got it. I know what I'm gonna do. God damn, that's a list, huh?
I mean, I'm a level 10 wizard.
Yeah.
I'm a level 10 lizard.
The best is show global damage, field modifier, elemental mastery, 5. Okay, so at the bottom of all of your spells, you should see a new thing that says global damage modifier, elemental mastery, and it's currently checked.
Okay.
If you cast a spell that's outside of your mastery, uncheck it before you cast it. If you're casting a spell that is mastery, check it when you cast it.
Okay.
Was this mastery or no?
This one, so there was the
I think
like It's evocation, so anything in evocation gets my like,
intelligence modifier.
intelligence modifier.
Got it.
Okay.
So then that's a 40 total damage, and I'm right where I'm supposed to be as far as the damage on her. Okay, great.
And then I'm gonna do the thing really quick. I just want to action search and cast mirror image
Okay.
before I draw attention to myself.
So what's fun about that is you cast the cone of cold. It focuses in on her. As the cold like sweeps past her, for everyone watching on the outside, she just becomes this big old column of, because it's literally 60 foot of column into a straight funnel into her, right? So she just becomes this large disappearing act of frozenness. And then once it all blows past her, you see her kind of like her red hair kind of flare a bit, like in that weird wind that she has, and her sword kind of presses through all the ice as it shatters off of her, and her attention changes to Sanat. And then in weird voice, she starts saying words, and Castia, you understand what she's saying, and she says, "You'll die, face scum." And it's at this point, too, Cassia, you can confirm she's speaking words of creation.
That's a really rude thing to say about Lose. I'm a human.
So you're up, Cassia.
Fucking rude.
Right? I
He
know.
did say yes loud.
Closely heard. There's like, what'd she say?
Yeah, she looked
What'd she say about me? What's going on?
You don't want to
Come on.
know.
I am going to activate Twilight Sanctuary. So I need that 30-foot aura.
Think so.
Okay.
And I am...
I know what that is.
Yeah. Great minds and all that, right?
Right.
Oh, look at him. Look at us.
Your brother got left out.
I know.
I think that's,
Sorry.
I think
Yeah.
that's 20. It should be 30, John.
Okay.
Oh, okay, good.
I number bad. I changed the color also to more moonish.
Okay. And then I will, I guess, just stay hidden here in my corner. And start handing out temporary hits.
Okay.
Start handing him out.
So,
Oh, look.
at the end of your turn, if you are inside of the blue aura that Castia is emanating, you gain temporary hit points. If you already have temporary hit points from anything else, you'll take the higher of the two values, either what you have or what you're being given. And then to confirm for you,
14.
at the end of your turn, Blathild, you would have taken 11 damage and your damage pool would have reduced to 0. I'm going to do something for you here that's going to be super helpful for this purpose. The green circle on your token, I'm going to change to your delayed damage pool. So when you take damage, what you'll do is the first 11, shove it into the green, but you're adding the number in. So if you take 5, just put 5. If you take 11, that's the max you can take. And then the damage that spills over the top of that, move it over there. Now that you're raging, once per turn, you can deal additional damage equal to the damage pool you have. So you would have actually done 11 more damage on your attacks because you would have wounded strength. No, it cost you your reaction to do it, so you probably wouldn't have used it because you can use your reaction for other tricks.
So
So,
reduce that to 0. Got it.
right.
That's all I got.
And then Sarth will do the swing. He's going to go ahead and like spin his great axe to the side, pull out his magical hand axe, and start smashing into it. He gets 2 attacks with a hand axe. That first one's good. So we confirmed at least 19.
19.
Perfect. So yeah, smash, smash, and then kind of holding the great axe, not in a formidable martial way, just trying to appear intimidating like his mom. All right, Sarth is done. It'll go to Lose,
Alright,
and that would have bloodied it, by the way.
oh hell yeah. Actually no, I want to get a swing in. I'm gonna go ahead
I'll
and
give you
dash
all
in
my movement to push you further.
to go there.
I have this wonderful
and then that's
habit
my
of drawing
turn.
attention to
But I'm
myself
gonna-
with these big spells.
Look mean at her.
I understand. Like I said, I'm not used to being a melee character. blasted people off
You
the
run up
bar.
next to her, and then in your turn, like just like looking at her face.
What'd you say about me?
What'd you say about face, Scum?
Talking shit.
Heard you was talking shit. Yes.
Dang it.
You better stab.
What?
So yeah, it wasn't just me. I just noticed the chat, and then I just
Yeah,
Googled
I tried telling you.
because it is really weird. I don't know why it's happening. I'm not trying to say I'm not coming for you, Voxen. I don't mean to sound like him.
How about now?
Still the
Is it
same.
better?
Yeah,
I
it's-
turned it down.
It's still. I don't know if it's me that's somehow connecting to you is making you louder for me. I don't understand it.
Did you turn
That's
it up in like
way
OBS
too
or
low.
something?
A little bit more.
How about there?
That's great.
Okay.
Oh, you
My
sound
God.
quiet.
I'm about to say now I
Automatic
can't hear
adjust
him.
volume.
That's weird. Like, why is it coming in?
Wow.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's good.
How about now?
Just don't yell at it.
Ah!
I'm about to say you might need to yell at it because the
I
rest
said
of us is
no.
kind of quiet.
Apparently, you're ear killing.
It's only for you.
It's
Well,
just for you.
The audience too. So yeah, but okay.
Just Andy, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, there's 6 viewers in there, unless everybody in here is in
I
there.
mean, we're half of those 6. I'm
Maybe.
sure.
Yeah. Okay. So Lose, you were moving.
Yeah. I
Dash.
moved right up next to her and said, bet, I guess.
Okay.
And go.
Braddock.
I'm still skittering, so I'm gonna go to right here. I'm gonna use my bonus action to unskitter. I'm gonna like jump, flip, land, and I'm gonna swing at her with my action to try to hit her with my sickle.
Okay. So this is a very interesting bit of interplay. As you're rushing forward, Lose and you have fought together against some pretty wild shit. So as she hears the clink of the Kusurigama, she knows to kind of drop low to a low stance with her sword kind of pointed down, ready for an upward strike. The Kusurigama waves across. The battle angel very quickly spins around with the sword behind her back and knocks the Kusurigama's head out of the air. But the wide swing kind of sweeps towards Sanat, who's not expecting that. And they're like, whoa! As this chain sickle goes whipping around from the rat folk. And you're like, God damn! It's like that.
Gotta be careful of that one.
It's like that ninja assassin movie. It's like, whoosh. You do not have second attack, do you?
No.
Okay. So that's it for Vravik, and in the so real quick, Lose, you got 11 temporary hit points at the end
Oh,
of
I
your
did.
turn, and Vravik at the end of your turn you get 12. You can see that Tom is basically on point. If he sees somebody end their turn in his space, he's going to click it so you have it. Okay, it goes.
Why was that not an option when I was doing this?
Because you went first. I don't know, man.
I had to just roll the damn die.
So.
No, you went before I.
Yeah, you haven't
activated
been
it.
in the Twilight.
That'll
Forge.
teach you to have higher dexterity than me.
Okay, so
No, I meant as a Twilight cleric.
Oh,
When
yeah.
Oh.
the angel will move. When it does so with like a blurring effect. This means that they do not provoke opportunity attacks. However, if anybody adjacent, I don't think Blatfield has Sentinel, so that won't trigger. And Lose, you don't have Sentinel either, right? Okay, so there's just this kind of as it kind of burns towards that direction, and the big sword comes flaring down at Sanat. As it's coming, Sanat, you kind of take a defensive posture, but you're very kind of hesitant. Because you watch as her hand leaves the blade, leaves the handle of the blade, and then reaches out towards your face.
You did hear me say I'll cast Mirror Image with Action Surge earlier, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, just making sure you understand that.
you're currently
Three
your
of them.
image.
Which one is he grabbing?
Sure.
There's 3 of them.
But I do want you to go ahead and click that spell real quick for me.
Yeah.
I want to point out something very interesting about that spell that may make you sad about it.
If I
That's
can
John's
find it,
bread
that
and
would be
butter.
great.
He's not a benevolent.
I see you. You
What the
haven't
heck?
moved yet. I know
Why
which
are
one's the real
these?
one.
Well, she couldn't see me when I cast it because she was shrouded in ice.
No, it's not about that. So, until the spell ends, the duplicates move with you and mimic your action, shifting position. You can use your action, etc., etc., etc. Where is the part about I can see through it with true sight?
The very best.
Creature is unaffected by the spell if it can't see, if it relies on senses other than sight, such as blind sight, or if it can perceive illusions as false, such as with true sight. So she reaches straight towards you with her fist, or her hand. She will make an attack. Does a 24 hit your armor class? No, well,
He's a very tanky cleric.
Did
Sorry,
you miss
hold
the
on,
part
hold on.
about wizard?
you still have reactions. So if you have again, I know your party was pretty partial. I don't know if it was you specifically, but silvery barbs. I know you also have shield. So I just want to make sure, if there's anything.
I do not.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, okay. So she reaches forward, grabs you in this facial region, kind of just grasps a hold of your mouth, and she creates an effect on you. For the next minute, you are silenced. You cannot speak. Any spell that you have that has a verbal component, it doesn't happen. After she does that, she kind of sweeps the sword in that one hand, grasps it with the other hand, spins about, and sweeps it down at the rat.
Hold 1 second.
Go ahead.
Hold 1 second. When she moved in, I have tread lightly. When a creature moves within 5 feet of you, if you can perceive you can spend your reaction. I'll use my reaction.
Okay.
Make a charisma save and intimidation check.
Oh, that's our best save. Okay, cool.
Oh god. Do I have
So
inspiration? I do not. Somebody give me inspiration.
the DC is
Sorry.
8 plus your charisma modifier plus your proficiency bonus. Okay. Oh, no. That's for the frightened thing. Hold on. You make a charisma intimidation check with a DC equal to its passive perception. That's different. Its passive perception is 21, so you fail.
That one.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So she will not be affected by the tread lightly. You kind of are warning. So she reaches, grabs a hold of Sanat's mouth, does something to them, and then kind of pushes their head back. And as they're doing that, they're kind of sweeping the massive sword over their head, grasping the hilt with the free hand now, and drawing it behind her, striking straight down on the rat folk. And 29 to hit. So you are going to take 11 slashing damage, 22 fire damage. So a total of 33.
Ouch.
All right.
Oh.
So as she kind of pushes the wizard's head back,
Yeah.
brings the sword down, she's kind of standing in this posture like she's surrounded, but she's kind of very clearly kind of brusking everybody back as well with her wings and just her. She's medium sized, but she definitely has a bit more of kind of a wider presence due to her wingspan. If that makes sense. Okay, Orlandis. Lose, you haven't used a reaction, right?
Does a bonus action count?
No, do the thing!
Hell yeah, let's go!
Do the thing, he says. Go ahead, and he's gonna move so his aura gets more folks. Yeah, that hits.
Fuck yeah, 10.
So as the wing kind of comes around in that sweep, you kind of duck underneath it, and then as the blade kind of comes down, you strike right underneath her armpit in the armor. You kind of hear it sink into flesh, kind of extract it, and you can see very bright red blood coming out of her. She's been bloody for a little while. And he's going to Knight's Move again, pointing at Cassia, and kind of one of these. Get over here. And then Dudamus Reximus. Actually, I think I'm going to change it up. I know it's a little out of character, but I'm going to change it up. I'm going to say, huh, you really think you have a chance? You're not even good. That's my vicious mockery.
I could just start sending you the
And
insult
she-
TikTok
Some insult,
lady
yeah.
video.
She barely saves. And that is it for those folks. Blathild, you're up.
Okay,
1,
well,
15, and 11.
I wanna. While
Yep,
she's
I got him. Sorry, I was
busy
talking.
with these. I'm sorry. while she's pissy with these people, I'm gonna take one step in, and then in the same movement, I'm gonna, kind of come in with the axe. I'm down for the axe.
And just quick clarification, because I just realized I sounded like an asshole just then. I didn't mean to. I wasn't saying I was talking and you shouldn't be talking. That's what it made it sound like. I'm so sorry. I was saying. I'm sorry.
I was just like, okay.
I'm sorry. I just realized that's what it sounded like in my head. I meant to say I was. I'm sorry. I was talking over you. Is the thing I was going to say, but I shut up at the very wrong time for that sentence to be absolutely horribly misconstrued. I apologize.
I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, fuck you. Yeah,
Foxen interrupted
I was
you.
like,
God damn it. Fucking shut
Oh.
up, Foxen.
you're too
I
fucking
guess,
loud. No, go ahead. Sorry.
I guess it's just me and you, Tyler.
No, you're fine. Your audio levels are fine.
Me.
I
Wow.
just talk too much.
No, that's not what I meant.
All right.
No, no,
all
no,
right.
no,
Calm
no,
down.
Cat,
Let's go.
Cat.
You were swinging the axe.
John talks
Oh,
too much.
God
Continue.
bless.
I'm canceled again.
It's not good.
I love you, John.
Oh,
it's so
Lord.
wonderful. So the battle axe gets blocked away. She seems to be kind of spinning about into Lose's favor. And then you can make a battle axe attack or a one-handed weapon attack, or the sword attack.
Sword,
Yep.
which I'm gonna do.
And this will be your
I
second
like,
attack.
I like going and back and forth.
Okay.
I think that's the one-handed one, isn't it?
Yeah. And so that'll miss as well. And then with your offhand attack, it has to be with a longsword because quantifiably, your offhand weapon is always the same. So if
Okay.
you wish to make a bonus action attack, you can, but it has to
Sure.
be the longsword.
Okay.
Okay. So you kind of, coming in with the attacks, and she's very kind of deftly just spinning about, like blocking you, annoyed that you're even attempting. Like she would be the type to say,
Great.
"Shut up," and she turns to Lose. Okay, and then you didn't. If you had any damage, the pool would hit now, and then we'll move to Sanat. And you gain 13 temporary hit points.
Oh. Okay.
I'm going to. Where did it go?
Killer.
Well, she did prevent me from doing most things. But
Oh.
she didn't prevent me from doing this.
Hell yeah.
My hand for that. Oh, shit.
Okay.
And it's evocation, so our people are fine.
Yeah, and you click the button so the elemental's on the stack there for the 5 above it. Okay. And I'll be sure to roll my con saving throw, which she's not very good at. So that'll be a total of 11 thunder damage, and she'll be knocked back from you. Now, this is an interesting point of order. Oh, no, Thunderclap's the evocation cantrip. Never mind. Sorry, I got it mixed up with...
Straight into my sword.
Well,
He doesn't get knocked back.
I was gonna say, Thunder Wave is the one I was thinking it was.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say,
Thunderclap is just
for
a-
interesting interplay, you could drop down and snap them up with wave, but you're not waving, you're clapping.
I feel like Thunderwave
We'll
probably has
save
a
that
vocal
other one for
component.
later. Yeah.
Yes, Thunderclap is just.
Yeah.
So she's annoyed that you
I smirk and bam.
she's annoyed that you didn't get the memo.
I just like how she comes down on Rabbit. He's like, just puts his fucking weapons up and just gets smashed into the fucking floor.
And
And then she just starts blocking everything else.
Oh my god. And
Can-
then
Go ahead.
I want to. There's not like a vocal component to face step, right?
It's not a spell, so yeah, your supernatural ability to walk through the Feywild is you and yours.
Okay. So I'm gonna put myself over. There.
Okay,
I didn't really measure that, but I'm pretty sure that's about right.
more than yeah, you're within the aura, and
Okay.
it's you're 1 square off, and you're 1 square offset from Cassia. That works perfect. Okay,
Okay.
so poof poof, and is there an effect for winter face steps?
Yes, but let me see.
Snowstorm?
No,
Flurry?
it's not that cool.
Chill.
One creature of your
Oh.
choice that you can see within 5 feet of you before you teleport must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or be frightened of you
She's
until the
immune.
end of your next turn.
She's immune.
I was like, most things are. So most
Not-
things that it would matter
Rabbit's frightened. What the fuck?
If you're fighting one thing, yeah, usually they are. But if you're fighting like a group of things, it's more likely than not that they're not. Okay, so Castia, you're up.
Okay, well, given
up
that
those chickens.
it's some kind of celestial being, I'm pretty sure this will be marginally effective at best. But gonna be Sacred Flame.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not even gonna roll a dice. It hits her, and she just kind of annoyedly kind of turns her head to the side, like, what? And Sarth kind of rushes forward, yelling, and he's going to reckless attack. So he will do his hand axes with advantage. He hits with both. And he does his mom proud. He rushes forward with the hand axe, the magical one, slams it into her chest. She kind of turns to look at him as she was kind of spinning towards Lose, and then kind of raises the hand axe again, smashes her in the crown of the head, and she drops to the ground. When she does, her wings kind of fold inwards very suddenly, and the armor's all that's left after like this mass of kind of feathers and wings kind of move in towards the armor.
Is your sword left?
No, just the armor. You need another sword.
Come on!
Girl can
I
never
need
have too many
another
swords.
I gotta do rock paper scissors with Lose. It's mine.
This one's mine. You got the last one.
Rapper, like,
You got so many swords. But yeah,
I want a
Yeah.
cool sword.
hold on. So point of order. We're ending the fight. I'm going to go ahead and move through people. I think I'm going to start with Tom. I will say this is just for hilarity, I guess, or also for plot convenience. Blathil is currently like engaged and kind of focused on the armor. Now's your chance. Joking, but we'll start with you, Tom. What would you like to do immediately after the fight?
Castia will go up to Sarth and be like, "That's like when we killed the dragon."
It's just like when we killed the dragon, he says, as he's like breathing really heavy, but he's like very bright red and flustered because he used his small amount of rage. Okay. Anything else from Castia? Okay. We'll
Maybe
go...
eyeballing to see if I can like look through that James Abbott notebook to see if I can get if there's any notes about what the hell this was and what it would be doing here.
So James's notes on celestials are very limited, but not non-existent. It appears that this entity was some sort of battle angel. In the hierarchia, which is angelic forms, and this would be more your religion knowledge, kind of keying against James's notes. It's very much the case that there are tiers of angels, but there are also angels that are outside of the spheres of the celestial beings, known as battle angels, which are entities that are built and bred for the purpose of fighting. In some cases, they are mortal souls that are taken into the astral sea and slowly ingratiated into the angelic kingdom through training, where they've changed from grayed wings to pure white or pure black or pure red winged individuals. And those three colors are the battle angels.
Doesn't tell me anything about why she is here.
No, not at
Why
all.
I'm here. Why are any of us here?
Not at all. Why would a dusty old tome tell you that? So there are a few folks near the armor to start, but we'll start with newcomer. Kat, what is Blathil doing immediately after the fight?
I'm turning to my children and breathing heavily because I was raging, so I'm just kind
Calming down.
of calming down and kind of just looking from both of them, and then I kind of just like still have my weapons in my arm, but I kind of like reach around to kind of give both like a hug.
Okay.
Like, okay, they're good. They're good. Okay. And then after I see that, then I'll kind of turn back and kind of just look down at the armor.
Okay. What's Braddock doing, Falkland?
getting up off his knee, rubbing his head. It's all bloody now.
Yeah,
Why
there's-
is it always me? And he kicks the armor.
there's also a patch that's like a little bit seared from the downward stroke.
He's burned and everything.
Yeah, from the flame strike from before.
He's got a big gash on his head. He's all singed.
It has not been it's not been a great day for the rat. That's not wonderful. And then Lose, you're also right there with the armor. What are you doing immediately after the fight?
Kicking the armor.
Okay, so
King every
Like soccer
person in the army.
Bravik and Lose are both like kicking the armor like it was like, you know, a printer that was in their office for a long time that they weren't a very big fan of. Die motherfucker still. So then Sanat, you're
Armor flares up and catches fire, doesn't it?
you're kind of
Great.
Now it does.
maneuvered away from the conflict and are kind of near Orlandis, who is kind of looking around, making sure everyone's okay, tactically minded, but kind of assuredly kind of making sure the fight is done. And Astrogoth seems to be kind of like holding his recorder, just kind of looking at the armor, kind of like, I'll doot you again, motherfucker.
I'll do you again.
Can I play the victory tune now?
Hot cross buns.
What would Sanat like to do in the immediate aftermath?
Well, that was fun.
Wait, you're still silenced for a minute. You can't talk.
I only gotta hit her once.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just like also like making sure. I guess since I'm still, am I still silenced or would that have fallen off when she?
So
died?
it lasts about a minute. So you, in a few moments, you know, from that point, you can kind of feel the vocal cords kind of making sound a bit. The effect for just kind of mental minded, so you understand what it feels like. You're familiar with the spell silence. It kind of creates like a large bubble of no sound. It seems like your mouth was filled with that.
Okay.
So once it passes, you can kind of just feel vibrations in that space again. But it's a very weird feeling, right? Like you can hear yourself breathe usually if you sit idly. Even if you're really, you know, excited, you can hear it even more. But it seems like there's this cutoff between like this portion of the body and everything down there. So even just like the normal rhythms of your body are muted to you because of this gag that's been placed on you.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah. I'm just kind of, I guess, again, checking myself then.
Yeah.
After the fact.
You're fine. It's definitely a effect you've never been, put to, but it's not one that you're unfamiliar with. There are a number of angels who silence demons because demon speak is used to kind of create magical effects.
Oh my god.
A demon.
Okay.
I'm definitely not a demon.
Unless.
I believe
Perhaps.
I believe she referred to as Fey scum.
She did.
Yeah.
But you did not know that because that's a language you do not know.
Yeah.
Of all the languages that I know.
But it's a language, even though you can't speak it, you may recognize. Make a religion check. Yeah, knocked it out of the park. That angel used the words of creation in casual parlance, which means that they are ripped raw from the astral sea and the eternal war. So the other thing you would note is only divinities, like high powers, low tier powers, speak this tongue. And I would like for you to make an insight roll as well.
Okay.
You definitely noticed like certain recognition of terms from the girl who has been running around in the back cowering that everyone's been protecting.
I'm also intelligent enough to know not to draw attention to the thing that I've noticed she's being
Yeah.
weird, but that way because of the people that are being overprotective.
Oh, for sure. You don't want to be a suit of armor laying on the ground, right?
Yeah, exactly. A robe, just
Yeah, just ropes.
There is the other thing that he probably would have picked up with that insight check, that when
They would've,
Cassia did Sacred Flame, there was no holy symbol used.
Normally, a cleric or priest, for their prayers, would utilize a focus, a holy focus. Castia does not use a holy focus, which again is more of a powers or innate abilities type thing.
Or she is the holy focus.
Never prove that in a court of law.
I know nothing.
like, are you a sorcerer or a?
Well, you hung out with a divine soul. Bodhi was one. Bodhi
Yeah.
still used a holy symbol.
Yeah,
An
that's why I
arcane
was
focus.
like also a sorcerer. That's why I was like,
Right.
but yeah. Okay.
Now that the rude lady is gone, and I shouldn't go near that giant thing in the center, I guess we go upstairs, because the door probably still doesn't work.
Can confirm. Door doesn't work, Orlando says.
Can confirm. Okay.
Well, I
Well.
suppose we can mosey on
It
back
should be all clear
upstairs.
now, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. We didn't know this was going to show up either.
I'll go ahead and start adding up that way.
Okay. If you start heading up the steps, it very formally kind of continues up the same way. I'm going to move Lose and then everyone in turn to the next kind of beat. So just bear with me here.
Whoosh.
Whoa. And like on every landing,
So
Yeah, no.
she
that's
would
what I
like
was-
stop like right before and like
So what you'll notice is that there was a landing that we skipped, but what I'm going to
Yeah.
explain to you, and there's going to be several more. As you can see, this is actually higher up, this position.
yeah.
What you'll notice is those first two seem to have those strange runes, right? And Bravik, being familiar with the trap, having seen it kind of activated twice, is with you in the front and moves up to it and very quickly notices on each of them that they don't have the markings inside of the carving work. So you slowly, at the landing points, but surely ascend up several flights of steps. And it very much feels like there's a darkness that's kind of filling the space in between. But above you, there's a feeling of kind of almost like a pulse to the place that has started to kind of manifest. And as you look at what was once darkness, just like a kind of flat top, which you presume was like the floorboards to maybe, or the flooring to something above you, you can see instead that there appear to be gears that are not moving.
Oh.
The center of these gears appears to have glasswork in its center. Don't touch anything.
Do not touch it.
But more troubling is several of the gears also look like they exhibit aspects of a bestial nature. There's one gear work that instead of having cogs, it has teeth that jut out of the metal. There's another one that looks like the entire surface of it has a sheen of kind of flesh. Another looks like it has bulbous looking eyes, kind of like, or almost like potato eyes, kind of popping out of it. And it's very troubling to look at from below, to be sure. It does look like if you wind around, it will come up to a point where you will be able to continue past the gears to see what's above them, but they are currently not moving. The strange pulse of this space is something else, something different. And Cassia, you immediately can recognize what it is. The battery. The battery at the base of the tower. seems to have some sort of resonance to it that's kind of causing the entire tower to feel pulsy.
These gears wouldn't be anything like the gears from the like.
Very different construction altogether.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. There are no similarities whatsoever. The craftsmanship that was utilized for the prison, very fine, very well constructed, and also very elvish. This looks like a hodgepodge of dwarvish, human, and aberrant, just kind of compiled together, with some kind of flares of ornateness in that center glass cog. Which again, if you go up and above this, you'll see what I mean. If not, then
Well, we ain't just hanging out here, right?
Well, yeah, like, hang out on the stairs.
I think whatever that is connected to what you brought in downstairs.
I think everything in here is connected to that, or that is connecting to everything in here. Maybe.
Well, if you would have let me touch it, maybe I would have known what.
Do not
Back
touch
downstairs.
other things.
Huh.
Do not
Like-
touch.
I mean, I don't really want to touch the up there either. So
Upward and onward.
But like before, you could. You said like before when I came, there I could see the top of the tower from the.
yeah,
ground,
there were
right?
no stairs.
Yeah,
It
I
was
was
a
like-
straight up shot, and you could actually see the top of the roof because there was light coming in from windows at the top, and it was shorter than this. So the space that you've gone up, even just this far to the gears, is higher still than the tower was.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you're continuing upwards, I will show you what it looks like over top of the gears. So as you kind of move past the gears, some of them kind of maneuvering, or not really maneuvering, but like are placed beneath the stairs that you're ascending over, you can see that there are 4 chains that descend from above and a complete field of darkness directly above you. That is a bit concerning because it's magical darkness, very clearly magical darkness. It's close enough that if it was able to be breached with dark vision, several members of the party would be seeing through it. The chains hold very large looking weights that have glowing embers kind of sparking off of the top. The stairs that continue upwards go into the darkness, as do the tops of the chains. So it looks like if you're going to ascend further, you'll be breaching some sort of umbral kind of state. But none of these gears move. And the center of the gear in the middle is a complete solid hole. Or not solid hole. It's a hole, like complete and just bored through. And it doesn't appear to be hanging on anything. Like the gear is just in space, floating attached to the parts that it's connected to, but there's no central thing holding it to spin it. You can jump out onto the gears and move across them, maneuver about them if you wish. Up to you. The glass is very kind of
whatever that is, though.
what's that?
I don't trust whatever those are though.
Yeah. Some of the gears look very strange, aberrantly warped, very awkward to the senses as well. It's almost like a weird craftsmanship that made metal into flesh, and it's very hard to kind of wrap your brain around it.
When you were describing the darkness, does it look like it covers like an entire floor, or is it just covering a section of the staircase?
Yeah, so it goes from wall to wall. It's completely across the top of you.
Okay.
The chains that are holding the weights descend from it, and the stairs ascend into it. And Bravik, you do the quick scan of the sun. No crazy words, no weird markings. Totally cool on this sun symbol.
Goggles of night on and look at the darkness. Can I see anything?
Nope.
Well, I'm not really.
It is definitely a
Who
supernatural
should
darkness.
say you first?
So it's up to you if you wish to ascend.
Up the stairs?
Yeah, into the darkness.
Yeah, hold on. I don't know why. There we go.
Quick
Wait.
question.
Oh, I'm going the
Did
wrong
I
way.
have time to heal at all? Walking up
No,
that
you,
stairs?
you were going.
No.
that way.
Oh, no, I was.
Unless somebody is healing you with spells, or if you're drinking potions. There's been no short rest time. Also, walking upstairs is not a light activity, so...
Yeah. Especially all of these stairs.
Check the traps.
Anything suspicious?
Anything wrong?
No traps there.
So, it's like, and then
Private
I,
mentions, why are we going up here alone?
Last one. I will say, there are markings in it, but it doesn't appear to have any kind of essence to it, Bravik. It seems to be inert. Like, it could be activated, but it's not currently.
You say we're gonna jump past
Okay? And you head up into the darkness?
Peek up into the darkness very slowly.
Okay. You watch as, like, slowly
Walks
creeps
up
into
the
the
stairs.
darkness, feeling around, feels like there's stairs. And once everybody watches as Bravik becomes completely immersed
Tail just disappears into the dark.
in the darkness, Bravik, go ahead and make an acrobatics check.
God damn it. Acrobatics. What's it? 26.
Okay. So, has anybody here watched Mr. Bean?
Yeah, I love Mr.
You know how at the end, like, there's that scene where, like, the holy light appears and then he falls and hits
Yeah.
the ground? That happens to Bravik, but here. But luckily, Bravik is skilled enough that Bravik doesn't fall face first smack on the ground. Instead, kind of lands like cat-like or rat folk-like on all fours, like brong, and takes no damage.
Like, what the
Good job.
And you would notice that the activation happened for a moment, Lose, but then once Bravik was grounded, the
Like
symbols
it's thrown
remained
out of the
pure.
darkness, or just appear above them and fall down.
You fell
Just-
and hit.
Can Castia make out what the markings are on there?
I touched the rat on the head and used cure wounds. I'm like, you're bleeding still.
You can make a religion check, Cassia.
Okay.
So these are prayer markings that are written in Celestial. They appear to be activations for some sort of trap or trigger or ward, similar to the ones downstairs that Brad first pointed out. But it appears that whatever the writing is saying, it's more of an indication of a terminus, not an activation. Like this is a place that's focused on by something else. And based on what you saw, your presumption is that when you enter into the darkness, you're moved out of the darkness to here.
How far did you make it up before that happened?
Steps, 5 steps.
Yeah, not very far. Like, pretty much once Bravik was completely
The
concealed.
second my tail came into the darkness, poof, off of the sky. I've been
So-
falling for 20 minutes.
I think Castia's first thought would be that there's another one of these symbols and corners up the stairs. So she'd try to like measure out how many steps it takes to go from one to the other to see if maybe there's another one in the darkness that
Are you
somebody
going?
stepped on.
Are you going up?
I'm not going into the darkness. I'm asking how many steps he took once he went into the darkness and trying to.
He says once he kind of fully entered into the darkness, maybe 5 feet in, he fell.
And that looks like it would not be the full distance of the rest of these lights from one to the other. Okay.
No.
aside from figuring out what the runes are, would this be something that Castia thinks, like, I can dispel the terminus and it will stop the other end, or is it, since this is the receiving?
Yeah, so this is the receiving portion, so it's kind of just an indicator of where it will go. So you don't know where the thing to dispel is. If that's fair to say.
Yeah, and looking at that giant thing of darkness, probably, and given what else has been going on in this tower, probably not a simple effect to dispel.
Yeah, darkness is usually dispelled by daylight, so that's an option if folks want to go that route. You do know there's a very massive divine battery at the base that could potentially do something. Just need to know how to, activate it, what to do with it. So far, no notes or any kind of indicators here. And yeah, just as described, you have the strange gears, the 4 things hanging from the darkness, the ceiling darkness, and the stairs that go into the ceiling darkness.
With the things hanging from the ceiling, is this normal light, dim light?
It's enough light that you can see by it, so it would be just above dim light.
That's the wrong answer. That's not what I wanted. It's dim light, I can fly and look at things.
It's an overhead light, Tom. It's not dim.
Here's the question: if I climb the chain, I'm holding on to the chain. Surely it can't just teleport me out of here.
You have to get to the chain though. So those things are hanging a pretty decent distance above you. You could try and jump from the stairs on the right side to the thing that has embers coming off the top of it, but again, you don't know what the fiery embers are going to do to you when you grasp them.
Yeah, I'm tired enough of fire.
Yeah, I'm out.
My tail's already fucking burned.
Stares up thinking about it, and then there's like just a bunch of like trauma flashes of like rats screeching and burning. Ah!
Reminds me. I gotta pull out my pack. Where's my rat friend? Julius Cheeser. Are you okay?
He's fine.
Julius, jeez.
He said
Here
what
we
he
have-
Never had a
said.
chance to take him back to the boat, so he's with us.
Yeah.
Castia will head back down a little bit to look at the gears
Okay.
a little closer. I know you said that some of this looks like metal turned to flesh.
Yeah. So from this point or this point here, you can kind of hop over the railing and land on the gears if you want to get very close to the gears. It's up to you.
I think just studying it from here, from a higher perspective, before being on.
I'll do it.
Okay. Snook very gracefully kind of leaps over the rail, drops down, and lands on the gear. The gear that you first land on seems to have strange markings written on it. And as you inspect them, you realize that these are markings of the hierarchy, the celestial order, the spheres of the angels. But the gear that they're kind of bound onto looks like instead of cogs, it has teeth. So it's very warped and strange. This one is connected to a gear underneath the larger gear, which seems to be lined up with it and also a gear opposite of you. This is about a 5 foot height, so it's about 5 foot wide, that gear, the one with the glass on it. So if you wished to jump up, you could pull yourself up easily enough. And then walking from the gears around it, the only points of, it's going to be slightly problematic would be the main gear in the center. And this gear is about, 5 feet up as well. But everything else is pretty close to ground level. You can just kind of hop from one to the next. They all look different and twisted, but this iconography and the use of like weird teeth comes up quite often from what you can see below and from what you can see ahead. It's a very common motif present here. Do you wish to jump up onto the big gear?
Yeah.
What's it say?
I can't read this symbol.
So, kind of get up there. The glass itself appears to be like oil and water. It's very just rainbow prismatic colorations, and the light that's catching it seems to be from the embers above, the strange weights up above you. As you look towards the center, you can see that the center hole, there's no like hole, there's nothing that it would be spinning around. But if you walk over to it slowly, you know the glass is not breaking, very sturdy stuff. You would see that the hole straight down, you can see the center of the battery at the bottom, and I will post you back over top of it so you can see over there. But it looks like there's a hole that lines up perfectly with the hole that you are looking down. And it looks like you can see the top of it, which you couldn't see before, and it's filled and pulsing with magical energy. Also, interestingly, you couldn't see it from the stairs on the way up, but strangely you can see it from here.
This hole lines up with the hole in the top of the battery downstairs. I don't know what we could do with that information. Maybe there's a way to activate the battery to make the gears turn.
Do you think
Maybe that'll get rid of the...
Sarth looks to Castia and like kind of whispers to her, but can be heard by Blathild. Do you think if you touch it, it'll activate it?
I swear to God.
I swear to God.
I mean, I reactivated that tree.
Yeah, I think it would work.
Maybe you should touch it.
And I look back over and I'm like,
She's completely changing her mind.
I'm like,
Maybe you should touch it.
I get the feeling we're not talking about a normal tree.
No, it was. It's fine.
Yeah, there.
You had to
there
be
are
there.
these doors in and out of the Feywild, and one of them was corrupted and not doing anything, and I fixed it.
Yeah.
Well,
Well. Deep, deep sigh. Deep, deep,
Oh, yeah, you
motherly
guys
sigh.
You weren't there. Yeah, it was. I mean, there
Yeah,
were
they
these
were-
shadow things that tried to kill me, but they're
Yeah, no big deal.
they're gone.
Cassia, I told you not to tell Bathild about that.
Oh,
What?
It's like- First off, I'll deal with you later, telling her not to tell me.
it was fine. I
From
mean,
one mother to another. Sometimes it's better to just not know what your kids get up to.
I mean, Sarth and I killed a dragon, so like
Yeah, Sarth says. We did kill a dragon. Kind of looking to Sanat, crosses his arms, like trying to look cool.
Perfect standing beside love, say, ooh.
I was
okay.
there for that one too.
If I was wearing a flip flop, I'd pulled it off.
Yeah, well,
La Chanca.
you already scolded Sarth for the dragon killing. You can't scold him again for it. That's not fair.
Well, I can scold him for trying to talk her into touching things she shouldn't be.
what if
Ah.
instead of because when we didn't what's your name? Pointing
name?
to pointing to you.
My name is Sanat.
What's your name?
What's your name? We've just been here this whole time and stuff happened. We just...
I'm Castia. But when you threw the lightning at
Hold on, sorry.
The
Pause.
angel-
Pause real quick. If Tuesday Group people watch this eventually, that's how you do it. You see, you ask people their name, and that's how that works. You see that? Same goes for you Sunday. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, continue.
when you threw the lightning and the angel kind of swatted some of it away, the battery just ate that. So
Well,
what if
what would
instead
happen
of,
if when you touch it, the
Well,
battery
that-
eats your magic?
I'm not gonna. I was gonna say maybe I don't touch it. Maybe I try and channel some more energy into it.
I'll touch it. I've already got blown
I
up
don't
twice
think
today.
I don't think anything
might
will
as
happen
well
if you
make it a
touch it.
third.
Hold on.
If she touches it, that could be a problem.
Hold on. So not make an Arcana roll or a Religion roll, your choice. Depending on which one you choose, depends on the knowledge you'll get. Okay.
Ooh.
14 isn't terrible. Typically, if a battery is expected to do something or connect with something, it needs some sort of push. And in arcane situations, the way you push a battery to do the thing is either a cantrip or a low-level spell, which will cause it to manifest what it does. So this is not a horrible idea. It also doesn't involve her touching it.
Okay, we can try that, I guess.
Technically.
It's like, oh, I gotta do a touch spell.
healing touch.
You tricked me?
We already determined Castia's deception score sucks, so I don't think
Yeah,
she's that
no
savvy.
touching the oven, okay? Just believe me when I say it's hot. Don't be one of
Okay.
those kids.
So you descend back down. I'll snap ping us down to the first floor, and you kind of make.
Oh
your-
god,
I'm
you're
not-
touching it! Oh no!
I touched it to
What are you
get here.
doing?
It's okay.
Yeah,
Well, it is like 5 feet in the air, right?
yeah, it's lifted 5 feet off the ground. That's correct.
He's just like tickling the chin. I don't know.
I think everybody, we should probably
With a little
stand
scritch.
back.
Just gonna hide behind Orlando.
If,
I am over
He's tired of
6
getting
feet tall,
burned.
though. So.
if you go ahead and you said you're going to channel into it, do you mean channel divinity, or do you mean you're going to cast a spell at it?
I think from what information was shared and kind of the feeling that Castia is getting, I think I would use my channel divinity on it first to see if that does anything.
Absolutely. So when you do, all of the ribbons that are kind of emanating out from it kind of point towards you. They kind of like coalesce in that direction, kind of forming this strange arc of a golden rainbow towards you. And when the channel divinity is kind of unleashed from you, the divine energy, it moves into the strands and flows with them in a similar pattern, but radiating out from you instead of radiating out from the battery. Once it leaves you and this kind of swirl of energies move into the battery's eyes glow in a more moonlight colored effect, and then a channeled beam of blue energy shoots off the top of the battery up into the darkness above. And that's it.
I think that worked.
Tharth is like, yeah.
Gotta go
Do
walk
I hear the
back
gears
up?
turning?
From down here, no. If you start making your way back up, I'll snap ping us back to the other section. Hold on a second. But the
This
thing,
is exhausting.
oh, it's not fun. For those who've ever walked upstairs,
Yeah.
the
Level of exhaustion.
once you get beneath them and see up in that dark
I'm not
space,
on it anymore.
oh, for sure, you would see them moving, and when you're heading up, remember it was dark in the middle. Instead, there's a blue light that kind of comes up and through. The difference now is they are moving and they are making metallic clicking, clocking sounds. When you come up over the top of them, you would see that the blue light extends upwards further still. The darkness is gone, and instead, directly above you at a height of about 100 or so feet is, for a lot of you, probably the most splendid, but at the same time most kind of horrifying thing you have ever seen. There's a mass of wings, some of them bloody, some of them broken, some of them with bones exposed. Maybe a dozen or so wings, spinning around like a cog themselves, all while magical energies, divine sigils, encircle them and move around them as well. It seems that there's something at their core, but it seems that it's more rooted at the top of them because the way that the bone structure of the wings is coming out of them, it's kind of like you're looking at the top of a bird, like the wings kind of jut out into the sides, right? Like the shoulders, if you will. are kind of underneath and seated outwards. So whatever it is, whatever the core of it is above it. And so you're looking at the bottom of it. That makes sense? And that's just spinning.
Be not afraid.
Biblically accurate Magier's power.
What is it with Friday's biblically accurate shit? The cogs are spinning.
Religious trauma.
Yeah, that's it. The other thing you'll notice too is that the teeth are kind of moving on the spaces on the gears. The cog teeth are kind of like quivering in the steel, and the eyes are kind of occasionally fluttering open and looking around. It's like Army of Darkness. It's like Evil Dead stuff, right? Like it's like a very quick pop open, look around, and then shut.
Well, whatever's up there is probably not great, but I feel like I'm here for some reason. I'm supposed to find something in here, so I think I gotta keep going.
Okay. I'm going to ask a couple of questions before we continue onwards. As you kind of make your way through this space, I just want to know if there's anything that's different or the same as last time. Just kind of tell me your process in moving up this space.
Cautious, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume we would want to make sure that still at each landing that we're not gonna, burst into a pillar of flames or light or something.
So Vravik and Lose, when you get to this landing, with Blathild's kind of insistence on caution, you would see that this one has changed. Before, it didn't look as angry as it seems to now, or maybe it's just a trick of the light. It's a heavenly light that's being splayed upon it from above. But the thing you notice...
I hate the overhead light too, but...
Right. The thing you're noticing more is that there are now grooves around the sun symbol, and they are filled in with the little symbols. And those symbols carved in are filled with what appears to be dried blood.
Just kidding, you could be afraid.
Probably better that way.
Yeah,
I'm
probably.
bloody, so I'm gonna drip my damn
What about
blood up here.
disgusted? Is that...
That's not an option.
No. Well, we're
Not miss.
disgusted anyway, like... but also confused.
Out of character. I'm like, it's a Goomba. It's one of those angry blocks from Mario. I'm gonna step on it and smash me.
Hold on a second.
Do
Roll
it.
20 is apparently wanting me to log back in. I am doing so. It doesn't look like it's doing it on the right side. I don't know why this happens, Roll 20. Why do you do this to me in the middle of my sessions?
And
Now's the time to do the cool stuff.
Can I throw a wooden stake on it? I still have 3 of those, apparently.
what if we run into a vampire?
I still have
3 vampires!
2 more!
What if we run into 3 vampires?
I don't know. Somebody else has
Make
more.
another steak.
We're done with the vampires. We already did those.
Uh-huh. That's what somebody who was going to deploy a bunch of vampires would say.
He's probably a bunch of vampires. Like, that's
Right. You're right, though.
No, just
You're not wrong, especially somebody
And as
who's
you throw
keen
the
on killing
stake
us.
onto the thing,
Oh, vampire.
Vampire shows up.
exactly 3 vampires.
Son
Dried
of
blood?
a- How could you know my plans?
But I don't
So it's letting me log
Wait.
back in. Hold on a second here. And
I'll have to take my sword and like carve the end of my axe into a point.
what was the plan again? Who was doing
I
what?
was going to ask, when you said that there's dried blood in the grooves, do you mean like there are runes on this one like there have been on the others?
Yeah, like the weird trap runes. You haven't,
Okay.
again, when you've activated them, it then fills them with ash. So whatever
Okay.
was in them seems to have burned away. The presumption is now that you've seen one that is live and hasn't been discharged, the medium for the magic appears to be blood.
Okay. And is it the same runes that have been on other ones, or does it look like this might be a different mechanism?
They've definitely looked different. What seems to be the case here with your religious training is that these appear to be like not too dissimilar from the weird. This is where the magic goes. This is where the magic ends up. It's almost like it's a summoning symbol, like something you would use to kind of draw in a celestial or draw in a fiend or something like that, or something even further out to this space.
But there's not one of those guys popping up back up.
Oh, right, yeah. This one's not discharging without being touched like the fire angel one did.
So if I throw a stake down on it,
Again, there's been a lot of talk of throwing stuff down onto it. I just need to be sure. If you are doing that, that needs to be said out loud for certain. I'm more...
I was dead serious about just like, I just want to throw something onto it because I don't want.
Does anyone stop her from doing
I don't
that?
want to step on it.
Is anyone stopping her from doing that?
You're right. I stopped her from doing it. I've already seen this twice.
Okay.
Do it.
Then you do something with it.
Nobody has like a disabled trap thing or something.
Not me.
Yeah, Kyle, see if there's a way to disable it. Can I destroy the rune somehow?
So you're a smart enough individual that has to do a certain amount of infiltration to know that this is beyond your ken. If you manipulate it, that's what causes it to trigger. So the way of dispelling it is much different than a different technique.
Like dispel magic.
That's
like,
Yeah, that's
I'm
what I
like,
was.
is it something I can dispel with dispel magic?
I was leaning that direction. Yes, you can attempt.
I
to
was
dispel
going
it.
to do the same thing. So if you
Now-
want to go give it the first shot, or I
What,
can.
what I will say is this: if you wish to dispel it, there's the two of you are smart enough spellcasters to come to this conclusion. If you attempt to dispel it with a third level spell and our fourth level spell or whatever spell is too low for it, right? Because I'm not telling you what it is. But if you choose to use a spell that's too low for it, and you have to roll to best it, and you fail that roll, it will activate it.
So don't stand on it when you do that.
Well, even if you don't stand on it, if you
It
cast
sounds like a summoning one, so like it will summon something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you cast Dispel Magic on it, and you don't use a high enough spell slot to cancel it outright, you'll need to roll an Intelligence or Wisdom check, depending on who does it. And there's a potential of failing that. So what I'm saying is if that comes to it, you would know that if a Dispel Magic is cast on it and fails, it will trigger the runes here and will cause whatever it does to do.
I'll cast it at fourth level.
Okay. So Sanat steps forward, casts the spell at fourth. I'm going to need you to make an intelligence check. Okay. So that's an intelligence save. So we need to cut out your plus.
No, sorry.
Oh, yeah?
Well, hold on. No. We're just cutting out the 5 from the first roll. We don't need to roll again.
Okay.
So this would actually be a 17, which works. So you cast the spell, Dispel Magic. You see that the magic is not immediately warped, so you kind of grasp a hold of the winds and kind of manipulate them apart. And as you do so, for a moment, you can see that this seems to be linked to some portal to a place that is nothing besides writhing tentacles and pulsing brains. And as you kind of rip it apart, you can see shrieking beaks kind of like lashing out into nothing before they fade from your vision. You're the only one that sees this manifestation as you rip the spell apart. And you spent a 4th level spell slot.
Wow, you're talented.
Could have been bad.
We shouldn't be coming to
It
get
could
the
have been
lead.
bad.
Maybe.
Probably worse than the angel. Step slightly onto it. Tap, tap.
Looks like your baby's glowing in that.
Yeah, pet that
I
dog.
That's a soup aura.
Yeah, this is Supora.
That's lewd, Jonathan.
Yeah.
You gotta get your channel, man.
No, it was below the line. You guys were seeing things that twisted.
Oh,
You got the full show.
it
They
was
didn't.
only for us.
Oh, God.
You got all
We
all
paid
the
extra
soup.
for that.
You got all
Wow.
the soup.
I didn't
Wow,
want that kind of
that's-
soup.
Yeah, I guess that's what the patron.
Yeah, I was about to say we paid extra for that, guys.
Damn.
Okay,
All
so
right. On
I'm
to the
gonna-
next one.
Continue up the stairs.
I am going to grab. What the hell?
Okay,
Okay, grab what the hell? Who that?
interesting.
Who dat?
Yeah, interesting
What
choice, but we'll go
is-
with it.
Let me grab my. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer.
What did Shimby do?
I was trying to grab your tokens, but I was on the GM layer. Stop moving.
Oh.
Stop moving. Shut up and stop moving. No.
Master, move.
Okay, so some of you should be on the stairs actually, and boom, bam, snapping.
Ooh, be not afraid.
So,
Indeed.
as you are coming up the stairs, the very first thing that you will see once you get out from underneath the spinning wings is that the thing that the wings appear to be attached to isn't physical. It itself is a spinning, golden, glowing thing with strange blades or spear points, twisted helixes of magic and light kind of coming off of it. And there's a glowing central core, which does not look like it's a physical thing. What you spellcasters would notice is that it appears to be brightly radiant, sun-like. The thing in the center seems to have sweeping kind of essences of bluish, silvery light that seem to be kind of sweeping into it, and it seems to be coming up from the light that's kind of hitting it. This point here, there is no more light. It doesn't go up any further. All of the light from the battery ends here. And this is the point where the gear sounds. You can actually hear something above you that's slightly different, but also mechanical, but more clockwork. You hear the sounds of what appears to be the hands of a clock moving.
It's not foreboding at all.
The stairs,
Should have
the stairs
touched it.
continue up and around it if you wish to kind of move past it.
Yeah.
Up for these little things on the
Oh,
corners.
great question. So yeah, you check your traps. Let me double check here.
How many did I put down? Let me make sure.
Okay, so no, there are none. However, once you get to this point here and are moving up through the staircases, the wings seem to sweep across the steps. And the way that they're spinning, it's almost as if they're kind of in a way that would blade you, like as you're coming up. So they would come up
Oh.
and hit
Can
you.
we like army crawl up the stairs?
So it feels like when you're kind of where you're currently at, you're fine. It's like once you kind of make this landing and head up that
Yeah.
way, is what I mean. But what you're seeing is that might be fine for the first kind of half, but once you get closer to the top, it's going to be a situation where, and definitely on that portion, because there's wings that are higher than others, and there's wings that are lower. It's just kind of a mass of bone and wing kind of fluttering about.
Say, how fast is it spinning?
Pretty fast.
Like a fan?
I would say that it's like a ceiling fan on medium.
Oh.
But it definitely
That's pretty fast.
it's definitely heavier than that. So like it doesn't look like it's going very fast because it's like mass.
Really big. Yeah.
But you again, Lose and Blothild, you've both taken a couple of hits in your time, and from things that are much bigger than you. So you have an understanding of the gross mass kind of principle of if it hits you, even if it was going slower than it potentially could go, it would still hit like a dump truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that wasn't my plan to get hit. I just wanted to know if we could do the whole stop, move in between each blade. But if it's going that fast, I don't think that would be something that I would even be capable of.
What if I roll up the stairs?
So there is, jokes aside, there is an opportunity for moving through it in a way that, is more acrobatic, where you're jumping over the wings, rolling underneath the broken ones, and kind of maneuvering past them. jumping to the walls on the shorter ones so that they blaze past you. There's definitely an opportunity for maneuvering through this space dexterously. I will
mean, I
also
have a 9 in
If you're
acrobatics.
dexterous.
Can I see this spot here?
yes, you can see past the blaze towards the top of the steps. The end of the steps seems to go up and then into the ceiling. So you can't see upstairs from your position.
I
but
just
you-
meant like I could see
Yes.
like dimension door me and
You-
someone else.
you
to
could
the
definitely
other side.
dimension door yourself to there. So what I will say is, of the group, it does look like Orlandis and Astrogoth are both very limited in their dexterousness. Castia, about as dexterous as you are, but also the person that everyone's trying to protect here. Orlandis and Astrogoth will volunteer to remain at the base of the stairs as you continue upwards and try to make their way past carefully. So, out of character, what I'll explain is narratively, if they show up next session,
They will have made it past.
they'll have made it past the wings. If they don't show up for next session, they will
They
have
were cut to
gone.
pieces.
Correct. They-
Sorry.
they-
Like sticking your finger in the fan.
Find the one caught
Uh.
on the bottom of the stairs. What happened? Everyone's back.
So,
I can take the other less dexterous person with me. If you guys think you can make it through.
so you're taking Castia?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I can be fine.
Sarth will look to Blathild and kind of give you a look of concern because he knows he probably
Yeah.
can't do it. So he'll stay back with them.
Okay. And I'm
Stay
gonna have
safe.
a little anxiety
Sure.
about sending Castia with.
I mean, you're welcome to go first if you'd like, and then we could meet you there.
You're so funny.
But it's just like
Sorry,
but it's
sorry
just,
that it's a high-level
Rage
spell
is
slot that I
running
can't take
through.
all of you with me.
it's like that scene in True Lies where
I
like
could just space step myself and say,
Arnold like punches the dude in the face in the car, but it's just like a dream, right? He's not like actually doing it, like he's just imagining it.
Yeah.
It's like Blastfield's
Yeah.
like shaking the Eladrin.
Yeeting him off the stairs. in
You
the
don't
first place.
understand.
Portal
and then, so, if you are planning to zap you and Castia up, then I'm going to need acrobatics checks or athletics checks, your choice. For those of you who are wishing to ascend the steps to avoid the spinning wings.
Acrobatics, let's go.
So you can go ahead and make your check, and the DC for the check, for those who are curious, is DC 17.
Oh, thank God.
"Aren't you an elf? Do you not have face step too?"
No, elf, not Eladrin.
I'm just kidding. I'm like,
Oh,
wait,
you
you
were-
can't do this?
Oh, you were doing the pompous elf thing. Oh, what? You can't magically step through the Feywild?
Uh,
Not me.
No, I have sword burst, which is the stupidest thing to take.
No, it's pretty good. We just haven't gotten into too many. We almost had a multi-fight. There was about 10 Grell on the other side of that. Anyway, focusing up. So,
Adore you, little chap.
you're welcome.
Good idea.
do you
The
have
what?
do you have inspiration,
No. No, you haven't.
Do you
given
wanna spend it?
inspiration.
Joseph, or no?
I can.
Okay, if you
For
do,
what?
on Elizabeth's roll, if you do, then she'll have passed.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so very deftly and carefully, the folks that are kind of maneuvering up do so. So Bravik obviously moves very quickly, kind of jumps to the wall, doesn't cling to it, but kind of like uses that kind of positioning to pounce off of it over the wing, roll underneath like one of the broken wings that are snapping by, quickly like does the solid snake to the wall, etc. Whereas Blathild goes the more kind of like jump man route, and she just kind of just starts leaping over the wings as she's making her way up.
Do with these nat 20s.
And she also appears to be utilizing the railing and like jumping off of the wall and the railing, kind of jumping from the wall to the railing back and forth as she makes her way up the steps, which is like if anybody was like really like, oh man, we just walked up a shit ton of flights of stairs, and then watching her do that, it kind of lets you
Damn,
understand
she's strong.
how powerful the
These
physicality
arms
is.
and legs are.
Now, Lose, you definitely go with it a bit more kind of like patient and, focus minded. But as you're kind of maneuvering up the steps, there's moments where you kind of realize like you're almost out of your element here. And it's just by sheer grace that you're able to kind of dodge. Like, these are very close strokes to you. There are moments where feathers are like slapping you in the face. And you're like, oh! Instead, if it was like an inch more, it would have been like bone hitting your cheek. Or, like a mass of meat hitting your entire body. But you managed to kind of maneuver through. At one point, kind of like actually having to block with your blade, like to defend yourself from one of them. But you maneuver up and you all make it, with the exception of Astrogoth, Orlandis, and Sarth. Okay. So did you wait for Blathild to go up before you teleported Sonat, or did you teleport
Yeah.
then? Okay.
I offered. I don't know if they wanted me to or not. I just moved myself beforehand. Just
Watch out.
Yeah,
Don't go
I
with me.
wanted to go. I honestly would think I would want to go before you teleported.
Okay. So then stop it.
Sorry, I was releasing my token that I. Yeah, sorry.
It's an upstairs ascent. We can't. There's no easy way to maneuver folks through this. So when you get to this space and come up, the sound of clocks is very kind of present, prominent, and a bit unnerving. So not, because chronomancy is definitely illegal, and this appears to be some sort of weird warping of spatial and temporal nature.
also what I need to learn.
You came to the right place. You ascend up into this space. You would see that you are now inside of a larger room, the walls extending outwards from the tower's walls. Your vision of like what it might look like on the outside is very much like a Big Ben kind of tower structure. The tower ascends up, and then it has seated atop of it a kind of larger structure with the 4 clock facings upon it. The manufacture of this strange device for you, Sonat, is very alien or very old. For you, Lose, not terribly unfamiliar. It looks a lot like the structures and a lot of the kind of architecture that was present inside of, and I guess Castia, you would also be familiar with this, having been there. But when you engaged with the Queen of Six, the architecture that was present there was Ordric in nature, the center islands kind of peoples who've been in the region for a long, long time. So it's very ancient and very much kind of a mix of Jernarin and Parnin, more specifically kind of like the central Parnin folk, the folk of Vazriel present there. But the floor is just made out of wood. And so, looking at it, you realize that it appears to be made out of bookshelves that have all kind of cascaded upwards and locked into place. So as you're passing through there, you can see the sides and interiors of these bookshelves filled with the books that were once lining the walls of the tower before it changed its shape. It looks like these facades are glass, but outside of them is nothing besides bright sunlight. It looks like the mechanism of the clocks is working, and so too is the sound of it. And the engine of it, the center core of it, is shooting bright light out and up into the rafters above you. Above you, in those rafters, you can see orbs of various sizes, a total of 7 of them. One appears to be made entirely out of jade. One appears to be made entirely out of gold. Another out of brass. Another out of bronze. one of a bluish metal you're not familiar with. And the last one looks like it's made out of clay. So again, just one more time. Iron. I'll go from the top and around. I'll move you into the space so you can see it too. Give me a second here. Snap ping. So you're obviously looking at this from below, right? Jade. Strange blue metal. Clay. Iron. Brass. Bronze. Gold. Take your notes. But it looks like the structure above you kind of moves back into the kind of similar size of the tower. And also for you, Sanat, another factor is directly above that, like further up, is the roof that you remember seeing in the tower before it changed.
Ah, there it is.
There's a difference to it, but it's pretty much the same. It looks like there's like a loft up there, and it looks like there's some more kind of rafters up there, like beyond the orbs that are just floating in space in the first tree of rafters. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Get a grip on the walls.
Quick question, because I was in the middle of writing.
Yeah,
This one's bronze.
correct.
This one's brass.
Correct.
Okay, great. Got him right. Thank you.
And they are basically completely spherical, with strange ornate patternings on them. The stylization of the patterns, we can go ahead and go through it again from right to left, starting with Jade. This is very much a kind of Vazriel styling, so human, ancient human. This is ancient Elvish. Specifically, looks like star patterns are kind of on it, so kind of more of the star worship of early Elvish cultures. This has no symbols whatsoever. Dwarvish in nature, dwarvish markings. This one here has Jernarin, dragon worship. This one appears to be Denisotvan in structure, the bronze one. And the last but not least, this one has markings that are very similar to like Atavian or War of Triumvirate kind of religious markers. Okay, so as you take this all in, you can see that the rafters are probably about 40 feet above you. Okay, and the device in front of you is probably about 20 feet tall. The gears, or rather the, oh god, I know the name of this. It's a part of a car. The large rods,
Axle?
the axles of the clock. Thank
I
you
was like,
so
what?
much. If you both said it at the same time, gain inspiration, the two of you.
The big
Hell
ass
yeah.
posters.
The big ass posters.
Big ass poster, stop!
And gain inspiration for big ass posters. But the axles are about 10 feet off the ground, so they're kind of higher up. But the mechanisms that are close to the engine, the core centerpiece, they go floor to the height of the engine itself. So you can pass underneath the axles. You cannot pass underneath the mechanism. Yeah, there doesn't appear to be any means of ascent up into the rafters that are what you would consider non-magical. You could try to climb, like the surfaces definitely have kind of a bit more leeway than the flat kind of stone walls of the interior of the tower. So Bravik, even if they are climbing resistant, they're still purchase, right? You can still kind of get your fingers onto something, right? So there's a possibility there as well. Okay, I'm going to leave it to you to ask any questions you have about the space before we end. We've got about 2 more minutes, but I just want to make sure that every question that you have that's possible to ask about the space is asked before we start next session, trying to figure out what the clock do.
So all of these clocks on the wall on the map, they look like they are all pointing at the same time. Is that
Correct.
actually true?
100%.
And Okay.
And you can't see through the glass.
You can see through the glass, but whatever's outside is just bright sunlight, and it's in all directions. So it's
You can see through, but not see anything.
yeah,
but
it's like
It's like the sun's right outside the window. Like,
right. Well, it's not like it's right outside the window. There doesn't appear to be anything that you can see in the environs outside. It's just a blast, like a backwash of light from all directions. So yeah, there's possibly something out there. I will say that for the people who are arcanely minded or religiously minded, the first thing that you presume is based on the fact that it shifted when you kind of came in with the cube and everything kind of changed. Your presumption is that you're no longer on the physical plane. And to confirm that, the Eladrin and the elf both would know, even more so now, that you are definitely not in the material world because you can tell when you shift. You do it every night when you rest, right? You trance. So you kind of have a vibe now that you are somewhere else and it's kind of severed away from the Shazas. Any other questions? Go ahead.
I assume that the hands on the clock are moving since the
They
engine
are.
is turning.
Correct.
Do they look like they're going at a normal rate for a clock? Or okay.
Yep. You can set your watch to it.
I don't have a watch.
Yeah, I know. You couldn't.
Where's my time orb?
You couldn't set your time orb to it. You don't set time orbs. They just do it. Okay.
Two of those are backwards.
No other questions.
These eye things, that's just decoration, yeah.
Yeah. So if you kind of look at them a bit there, they're kind of like ivory panels that are kind of set in kind of a decorative fashion. They don't look like they want to be eyes, even though they kind of look like that from this angle.
Okay.
It kind of looks more like they want to be shields.
Okay.
And
Definitely look like eyes.
yeah, they definitely look like eyes, but like if you can kind of see like the star patterns like around them, like the little triangles that kind of pop off of them.
Yeah.
And then like if you look at the kind of green space that they're on, they're kind of like larger old style shields.
They definitely just look like little Mike Wazowski's.
Okay, fair. They're
Put
now
that
white
thing back
with
where it came from.
Is there actually some kind of stuff on the floor over?
So it's not on the floor. It's
Uh,
actually floating around in the air. So if you do kind of pay attention to the glass and pay attention to the light coming in, everyone's been alive and awake in the morning in a dusty ass environment. So you kind of see like the dust kind of catching the light. It's obviously more manifest because you're literally being blasted with this radiance from these windows. Yeah, there's just a lot of particulates in the air that seem to catch the radiance with like a glow.
And
This is dumb. Like, is this
my
really hot? Like,
allergies.
is it really hot? Or
Oh.
is it just?
No, it's not
Just-
hot. It's nice and warm. Yeah, it's like if a cat wanted to lay on a bed in the window light. Like it's that kind of toasty.
Okay.
It's a very
Nice, good kind of toasty.
all in all good vibe and feel. Any other questions about this space at all?
Does this thing go to the ceiling?
Nope.
Or is it the
20 feet high.
inside? Okay.
You can jump up on top of it and look inside if you want.
The
The ceiling or the rafters rather are 40 feet up. The engine is about 20 feet tall. Go ahead,
last
Tom.
question is what is this random
Yeah, the
little
random
thing?
thing here.
Great question. It's a note. It's a note for me, but it's also something you can spot. As you're kind of looking around up into the rafters, you can see what looks like kind of ascended over the rafters a ladder that has a switch mechanism which will allow it to drop.
Hey.
As you look at it, Lose, you're kind of like trying to get a bead on it to see if you could shoot it. You're pretty sure it's not going to work. It looks like the mechanism is placed in such a way that it needs to literally be manually lifted and allowed to eject. And Vravik, you're trying to think of like what you could use tool-wise to get it. A pull action is not going to work. It's more of a lift action that's going to cause it to drop. So you know you have to get over there onto it and do it, or somehow get something above it to pull. upwards. Make sense?
And it's not all the way up into the rafters. It's just like
It
10
is.
feet up?
It is all the
Oh.
way up into the rafters. Correct.
Wow.
Like right up here.
Yeah. Yeah, you can kind of see it on the map there, here.
Yeah.
And basically, once it drops, the presumption is that you're going to climb up it on this side and then step off onto either this or this.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Last call. All right. With that, we're going to end the session. For the next session, I am going to make sure that if folks are popping in, I have this last section kind of clipped out for them so that they can view it. And I'll also post that clip here so that if you need to review the information that's present, just to confirm, you have it available to you. And everyone, thanks for watching those that did, and we will see you next week.